This is the current generation of an Apple iPod. I have about 200 hours of video on here, which would take about 8 battery charges to enjoy all of it. And yet the big picture quality on here is better than the average over-the-air. There are even adapters that can put this onto my TV set. So Apple's iPod model and their iTunes purchase model, and now the free content that's on there as well, because it's a new place to find it, and it's easier to navigate than the average cable video-on-demand screen right now. This is what started all the excitement. And during CES, a lot of the industry executives we've spoken with expect another announcement from Steve Jobs 500 miles away in San Francisco that may jar things once again.
Is that the iTunes cell phone? Right, exactly. Yeah.
The iPhone, our intelligence says it's probably off a little ways, but the most exciting element for the Consumer Electronics Show is IDTV, which is a box that is essentially a fanless, quiet, Mac easy-to-use home computer that attaches to your TV set. And it goes out and scours the home network or wirelessly through power line. It gets all the content that's out there. It doesn't matter if it's on a Mac, a PC, a storage device, on an iPod you've got perhaps sitting in a cradle. Gets all that content and puts it up in TV quality and navigates in TV quality, and yet gives you an easier screen to navigate those hundreds and hundreds of programs than the average cable or satellite operator right now has. So we're expecting it's going to be this consumer electronics play, not the iPhone play, that'll be creating the most buzz this winter.
Wow. Well, let's take a look at some of the other devices, Richard.
Well, sure. The other extreme that's gotten attention, subscription. In other words, instead of buying each tune from iTunes, this is a Rhapsody Sansa player, and for as little as $11 a month, or if I pay ahead for a year, or $15 a month, I can subscribe to 2.5 million songs, 3 million songs, carry thousands of them with me in this device, and not worry about whether I purchase that song or it's stored on this computer or anything else. As long as I subscribe, a model that's been proven by cable and satellite to work very well, I get all that audio content. And at CES, we'll see Rhapsody and other devices, including Microsoft's Zune, where I can subscribe to some video content as well. So these are basically the subscription model and the iPod model. And not to be outdone, because Bill Gates gets the first licks at the show, this is the Zune that was introduced in November. The menu's in a vertical format, but it plays horizontally, goes about a dozen hours. I can put my own content onto here, and we're expecting Bill Gates to announce some new models for this, so it can accept some content wirelessly, not just forward a song or a picture to somebody, and new models that emphasize both purchase and subscription. As Microsoft doesn't have enough content of their own, they have to work with others, and those other content companies aren't excited with Microsoft taking a big slice of it. So it's going to be incredible to see whether this man who's so changed the computing and consumer electronics industries can make magic here to challenge the iPod.
What do you like about Zune?
I would say what I like most about Zune is the potential it has to be able to share between users, and perhaps not share that big music or video file, but share the likes and dislikes. And whether I'm commuting or I'm with friends at school, because that really is the target market for this is students so far, not as broad as the iPod demographic. That sharing and peer-to-peer and viral model may surprise a lot of the content industry and say, wow, Microsoft's really got something here that's different than the iTunes store. So the potential is tremendous, and we've got to see whether that some of those bombshells get released at CES. And yet Zune, no one heard about a few months ago, but a brand people have heard about is Disney. And while the Zune and Apple players are in the $250, $350 range, this is a sub-$100 video and music player that's selling this holiday season, and it can accept content on little memory sticks, on SD cards. It can accept it from a PC. It has a battery life that's about the same as the Zune and the iPod, and yet it's aimed at kids, and it's not losing anything in performance for a children or teen market. It has the same performance for an under $100 price.
And you can get your media from any place, not just from Disney, to put on there.
You can buy cards from Disney, so you buy a little memory card instead of a disc. A lot smaller than a DVD player. No moving parts in it. It's much more durable. But I can also put any content I want. TV shows that I time shift or something else onto here. Music, educational lessons. And so Disney is in dialogue with other studios to see whether they indeed become a publisher to this product, because this product only costs about as much as a couple of movies. Of course, the Mickey Mouse logo here will tell you right away it's It's a Disney product. Those are functional buttons. And yet the demographic, well, this is a High School Musical version of the Mix Max from Disney. We will see others that perhaps can appeal to Mary Poppins. That can be Beauty and the Beast. That can be Tarzan. And
but we probably won't see an ESPN media center like this.
Well, no, I wouldn't rule that out, but ESPN folks in New York, we know, are looking at the Mix Max very closely. So both sides of the house have an opportunity here. The key thing being, these are brands people know and trust. They trust Disney. They haven't heard of Zune more than 45 days. They know Disney will be around for the content and the product for some time.
You've got a couple of other quick items we want to take a fast look at?
Sure, just to show that things are moving at an incredibly fast pace. This is a $60 music player by Hasbro. And this is the title's bigger than the screen. This is a massively mini media player. And we purchased this just for playing around with. But it's aimed again at teens. This has 2 headphone jacks on it. None of the other devices here have 2 headphone jacks for sharing. And it's a screen that young people and teens don't mind watching. It's the size of a postage stamp. Right. But it has the same high-performance video characteristics, the same ability to load in from a PC easily as these other devices that cost 5 times as much. And the future of media may indeed be this device, which is from Arcos. This device has a widescreen. It actually has higher picture quality than the average TV set in the U.S. It comes with a small dock that you're able to set up as a PVR without paying any TiVo fees, and time shift programming from cable or satellite. Has a replaceable battery, which consumers have voted for wherever they get a chance to get it. Plays dozens and dozens of hours of video. And unseen here, but this is a wireless device as well. And unlike the proprietary service that Microsoft has with Zune right now for squirting between devices, this will hook up to any public or private network, has a web browser built into it, so the business models for this are somewhat limitless. And Arcos was first with MP3s almost 10 years ago. They're first with a wireless device that isn't just limited to sharing.
Well, you're
and
clearly
you can be looking at the future of devices.